Hello my lively lovelies and welcome to Alive with Aaliyah. I'm working on personalizing my new MagShock chair from Fold Go, and I thought I'd share a bit about that today. So far I've actually already got some things done. I have created my own footrest. This chair obviously came with a lovely footrest, but due to postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, I have orthostatic intolerance, and so I like having my feet a little more elevated. And so rather than having them down like this, it's a little more like this. It just makes me feel more comfortable, so that was a change I wanted to make. Now there are a bunch more things I want to do to personalize this chair, but there's some things I want to keep in mind as I do so. I want to be sure I'm not doing any damage to the chair. I want to be sure I'm not like voiding any warranties. So keep those things in mind if you decide to personalize your wheelchair, and I certainly don't guarantee that anything I'm doing is a good idea. It's just what I've decided to do. Like for example, one of the things that I've done, like I said, is to remove the footrest, and I also want to have some storage on the back. So one thing I need to be really careful of is the weight distribution on the chair. Now I personally go slowly, I don't do fast turns or anything like that, so I'm not terribly at risk for causing trouble by putting my weight too far backwards, but it's still something I want to keep an eye on because I've removed the weight here, and then like I want to put some storage on the back and also make a place to hang my cane here. So I decided to also be kind of like stylistic, so I have some inspiration. This chair is so beautiful and it reminds me so much of a bicycle. The MagShock frame is actually developed like a mountain bike frame, I believe. So I personally really love old vintage bikes. Love. I used to have an old classic Schwinn that I personally restored. I felt like this beautiful pearl color really reminded me of this like coffee and cream Schwinn vintage bike, and so that's kind of my inspiration. So I want to be using some browns and some leather look kind of materials like you would normally see on a bike seat and handlebars, and of course that's why I want to have a basket, right? Because bikes comes with baskets, so I was going to put a little basket on the back. So that's kind of my vision. I'm looking to cover the seats, cover the armrests, and for me that has a lot to do with my temperature intolerance. The black usually absorbs heat. I haven't actually experienced that in this chair, but it's a little preemptive on my part, so I'm thinking maybe some dark brown covers on the armrest, and then maybe some more neutral tan embossed material here on the seat. And then I already have some things strapped on here as I test things out for how to stow things on the back. So for me, what's really going to be important about storing things from the back, make sure my cane doesn't swing around, make sure I don't want to create additional length to the chair back here, so I'm going to make sure it doesn't go past the wheels, which extend further than the chair itself. I'm also thinking about safety, so I'm thinking about adding some reflectors and other things to make the the wheelchair a little more viewable at night. And then the reflectors that I actually found some already are styled like a vintage bicycle. So I'm just going to keep returning to that bicycle theme. So this is kind of the concept I have worked out so far for the back for storing things. So I think I'm going to do like a strap here like I have clipped on, and from that I have 2 points where I can attach a handbag or a basket. One of the reasons to do it is like a strap across here is I'm also going to have my cane here, and I'm going to attach that from some sort of hook here at this top bar, and then I'm hoping that having the bag here will keep this from swinging too much. And I also want to make sure I have it high enough because I don't want to interfere with any of this wiring. Like, it's very important that my cane doesn't bump into the tires and doesn't bump into the wiring. I really want it to have enough clearance and to stay out of the way. All right, I have a strap here and a hole punch. So I'm punching some holes and I'm using the reflector instead of a rivet. Taking a little break there. And then I have a D-ring with a clip that I'm attaching. And a little break there. And I liked the idea of having the clip on each side. So I'm repeating that on the other side. And then I found that it was definitely off balance. Whoops. So I decided to finish that up anyways and leave it off balance. Actually, I kept it balanced, but I left the gap. And then here I am making a little piece, a midway piece to fill that gap. Ta-da! Well, this is what I've come up with for now. I used the reflectors there as rivets on either side. Okay, I've decided that oddball piece is now my bouquet holder, right? Oh, loving it. It's a happy accident. Okay, new idea. I took off the clip. I'm going to get this all sized appropriately, then put the clip back on in some sort of thinner manner that won't interfere with this. So I trim it to size, and I go through and pre-punch a bunch of the holes so that when I go to lace it, it will be much easier. So I think I'm just going to use a piece of scrap to attach this and sew it on. So I ended up using electric tape to secure it and made sure that the hook and metal never touches the frame, and then I laced on this handlebar cover. Just make sure it's even there. Tie up that knot there in the middle and tuck those strings away. All right. I decided to do an entirely different strap for the handbag since I kind of messed up on the basket strap. So first I added some D-hooks to the handbag itself, and then I made some attachments with clips that I would put on the strap, and then up goes the strap itself trimmed, and then there you go. So now I have some options for either the handbag or the basket and different colored strap options. Thank you so much for joining me here on Alive with Aaliyah as I personalize my MagShock Fold Go Wheelchair. Now it's the next day and I'm gonna go out and do a test run with, I've got my footrest, I've got my new strap here with the basket, I have my new handlebar cover, so I'm gonna see how those work out for me today. And please be sure to subscribe. I'm going to have future videos where I put covers on the armrests and on the cushions here and continue personalizing, so be sure to check that out. And be sure to like as well. Leave a comment, let me know what's going on with whatever mobility devices you have and any customizing you're doing or tips that you might have for me. All right, until next time, live and love with life.